Ladies and gents, what's going on? How is your new update going? It's going very nice for me. Today we're covering the P90 and we're getting choked by this guy. You can get this weapon from the wish machine or by just simply clicking escape. Click here, events, redemption shop, and then click on blueprint shop. And once you go here, you find the weapon and buy it for 8,000 Starchrome. We're gonna jump into the stats of how the gun works. And simply, if you right click on the gun and click X on a keyword, here it says that the gun utilizes bullseye. And then simply when you trigger bullseye, you will mark the enemy, which will give you extra 8% damage for 12 seconds, which is a separate multiplier. The stats of the gun is 20% chance to apply the bullseye when you hit. And the gun does shoot fast, so you'll trigger that bullseye pretty quickly. Every 12 hits, you will trigger a AoE damage, dealing weapon damage equal to 800% of your base damage to enemies within an 8-meter radius. The damage is 70% less against metas or players. Alright, and now we have our base damage, which is 240. This will go here as a base damage. So this would be our base damage multiplied by, in brackets, we would put 700%. If you're calculating this in decimals, then you would have to do it like this. Instead of writing that, you would be writing this formula. We have weapon damage bonus, which is converted to 9.9%. This is our bullseye stat, which if you open your inventory, you can see damage bonus against targets with bullseye. This counts towards the same multiplier as gray ones or normal enemies. So if you had like 20% normal enemies, sum up that 42.6 with 20% of normal enemies. And then we have 16%, which is the vulnerability amplifier, 8% by default, and another 8% extra, which in total is 16. And now when I shoot and trigger it on 12 shot, we will deal 3,490. And of course my crit is, as you can see, 57. So that way if I added 57, this is the crit we do, which is just a simple formula. You take the final number and just multiply it again like this. When we hit targets with the bullseye with AoE damage, it will reload 3% of your ammo up to 15%. If you're shooting a single target, you're actually gonna reload only about 2 bullets. Take a look at my mag. We have 27 bullets now when I shoot, and it goes up to 30. So you reload 3 bullets back. And obviously the more magazine you have, the more bullets you're gonna reload. This is why we're gonna be choosing the magazine capacity calibration for this gun, so you can shoot forever and you can reload as many bullets as you can. As you can see right here, if I mark these targets over here, now when I trigger the bomb, I will reload about, I don't even know how many bullets that was, 11, 10. But you can see when the target's mark ends, I'll reload only 3 bullets. So the more targets you have in the area marked, the more bullets you're gonna reload when triggering the bomb. Pretty neat. And then lastly, crit rate is 20% against the targets that are marked. And that's about it for this weapon. Simple as that. Nothing too crazy. We're gonna jump into the Cradle, and for this gun you will want to run anti-phase, rapid aid, demon energy defense, tactical combo, shield protection, and bounty hunter. Now this steady hand, and let's say you have your P90 here, you swap your primal rage, get 5 stacks real quick, which are the fast gunner stacks. When you swap to primary gun, you're gonna basically shoot faster. So if you do that, if you use primal rage as your secondary or fast gunner to get fast gunner stacks, you can use steady hand. Now, however, you cannot really use fast pursuit, so you don't really need to use this. Instead, you just want to use marked strike, these two. For the calibration for the gun, you will want to use, of course, as mentioned again, magazine capacity with 2 times crit rate. Crit rate is the best option because this gun is not 100% crit rate. Okay, and now let's jump to the sheets. The sheets link will be in the description, so just go down there, click the link. Now for the gun, you will want to use vulnerability amplifier. It's a must. I don't really recommend using anything else. You could be using the recover mark. When you defeat enemies, you will gain HP back and stamina at the cost of losing damage, so it's up to you. Or you can use the spreading marks, which when you kill a marked enemy, the bullseye will spread to another enemy. If you want to use earthly boots and don't want to use the bloodstained shoes, then you can do so, because that will give you extra 10% gray ones damage. Of course, if you use earthly boots when you kill marked targets, however, you won't be really marking everything, which means your gun is going to have more downtime and you're not going to reload as many bullets as you would with Bloodstained. So I would still recommend to use Bloodstained shoes. We're using Faithful Strike because this is a crit-based weapon, which means the more crits we do, the more damage we'll do. So the explosions are going to be the highest with Faithful Strike. With Weapon Symphony, you're going to trigger them faster, but the damage output is going to be lower. We must use Targeted Strike. However, if you are capped out on crit rate and you want to burst the boss very quickly, Most Wanted could be another option, because you're going to be shooting like in about, what, 10 bullets. You're going to be maxed out and you will get basically 15% attack. So you can use Most Wanted if your crit rate is like super high. Like our crit rate is sitting at 89. If we had the kukri, the crossbow, if I remove that, will be at 59. So targeted strike most likely will be the best for mobbing, but if you're bossing and you're stacking all the buffs, then you can replace targeted strike to most wanted for more damage. It all comes down to your stats though. Then we are using crit boost or crit amplifier on the gloves. Honestly, again, if you are low on crit rate, then just stick to crit boost. But for bossing, if you have a lot of crit rate and enough, you can put crit amplifier. I would say to put crit amplifier if you're above 90% crit rate. Personal preference, what do you use on the top piece? On the shoes, we're going to be using covered advance. This is a full HP build, so we're not using a low HP build here. And for the pants, you'll want to use Deadshot. We won't be really reloading this gun as much, so Deadshot is the best option here. For the armor pieces, we're going to be using 1 Bastille and 4 Lone Wolf pieces, and then Earthly Boots. Again, stick to Earthly Boots for single target, which is bossing, and Bloodstained for mobbing. And then for the low HP build, the mods are literally the same. The only difference is the suffixes, of course. As you can see, for the full HP build, we use Violent 7, so stick to that until you get better suffixes. And for the low HP build, we're sticking with 1 lunar helmet suffix, 1 lunar top piece, and 2 downstar on the shoes and bottoms. If you don't have these suffixes, read this over here. Put it to violent instead. And for the calibration, you just want to run heavy, or if you have so much magazine capacity that you're getting from your mods, like your substats are great, then you can consider putting energy style on your calibration. You will simply get extra 10% attack for just having the calibration. So you won't be getting the magazine capacity, but that's like a compensation for extra damage. If your mod suffixes are great and you have the magazine cap, then you can put that calibration. Normally, I just recommend to go with heavy style. Now for the drink buffs and food buffs, if you're chef class, use Borge Deluxe, crafted with deer meat, and you will get 3% extra damage when you mark stuff. And since we're always marking, this will come in handy very well. Orange juice, 2% extra damage as well with deer meat if you make it. To make the orange juice, all you need to go is click creative cooking, put 1 orange, put 2 water, and then put deer meat like that, and then start mass rafting. It will show up as this large bowl of stewed meat, but there's a chance to make large fresh juice, and that's what you want. This will give you extra damage. And as you can see, my stats right now are nothing, and if I just drink the juice, you can see that from 0% we get 2% damage bonus against targets against the bullseye. These drink buffs are going to help you in damage a little bit. Hot dog is needed because obviously we're always marking, so must to have that. And crumbly bread for mobbing. If you're running silos, just run crumbly bread. You can obviously also use sausage if you don't have that, but mostly you're going to be killing mobs. The boss fight doesn't matter as much. And for monoliths, it's going to be best option to run hot dog and bone-in sausage. Since you're not going to be really mobbing, just mainly killing the boss, you'll want the bone-in sausage. And yeah, crafted with deer meat, the hot dog, the sausage, and these 2 things, and you're good to go. Now for the best hides, if you click here, you'll be prompted to this sheet over here. This has literally full list of all hides. So the P90 is over here. The best hides for it is to use Starfell Cowhide. You will get 16% weapon damage when you are jumping and when you will have enough stamina. 120. If you don't like Starfell Cowhide, you can then stick to Golden Wool or Mountain Cowhide if you want to. And then of course, if you put 4 rabbit pieces on your armor pieces, you will get 20% weak spot damage while you jump. So that's another plus. Do note that you'll be able to only have 1 Wasteland Wolf skin, either on your top piece or pants, so make sure you craft this on the helm, top, gloves, shoes, or instead of top, you can craft it on the pants. It doesn't really matter. You can only have 1 Wasteland Wolf skin anyways for stamina increase. Alright, and now if you click here, min-max, here you will be able to see every single stat of this weapon, crit rate, total crit damage, total weapon damage, Grim One's damage. So these are separate multipliers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They're all separated for you guys out there. So if you ever wanted to calculate the damage, you can just input these, values and find out the damage. Anyways, the suffixes you'll want to focus on every single mod is going to be crit damage, weapon damage, and damage against Grey Ones. This is for bossing preset. And the most important stat to focus first is going to be Grey Ones, crit damage, and then lastly, weapon damage. Now, if you don't know how to make presets, you can click your inventory, click H, and here you click R to make a preset, and that will be saved over here. So that's why I have P90 for elites and P90 for bossing. As you can see, for elites, I just put these bloodstained shoes, and for gray ones, I just use earthly boots. Now for the ammo types, simply enough, just use smart ammo for bossing, and use suppression ammo for silos, for mobs like zombies, deviants, penetration for Rosetta, and that's about it. If you can't afford smart, then just stick to gunpowder, simple purple ammo for bossing, which is in monoliths, not silos. Silos, is where you use suppression. Extra tips to how to increase your damage. If you go to my Discord and click here in Once Human Cheats, you'll go to a link which is the HP ratio calculator. So here you will be basically just putting in the armor piece you have. So if you have 6-star armor and 6 calibration armor, you type 66 here and then check if the armor is gold or purple. If it is purple, then just change the 66 to 56, and that way you'll be able to calculate how much your HP ratio is and how much you're sitting at. So for example, right now I'm wearing 66 helmet, so here we just put 66. And of course, here on the top, you will have a HP substat. So I have a total of 1.2 and 1.2 on my helmet and mask. So I have a 1.2 max HP on my helmet, and then I have a 1.2% max HP on my top piece. Now, as you can see here on the very top right, you can click this check bar. It's when your HP is full hunger. You get more HP for that. And now if we check our current HP, we have 5,526, which is matching here. And we have 1,308.14. This is our current HP and total HP. So you can see the ratio is bad. It's red. And you want this to be either green 0.4 or below 0.4, which is 0.39999. So basically, if I just, copied another max HP subset over here, you would be getting extra damage. My ratio is basically like this, and I'm losing damage basically, which is bad. So you will want to play with your mods and put max HP subsets on each of your mod here. And yeah, see if the ratio matches over here and this is green. Because when you get the correct ratio, which is this, or if you get 0.4, you will get extra weapon damage bonus here, extra crit damage, and status damage. This counts for rush hour stacks, for lunar suffix mods, and for the lunar wool hides if you use that. So for this sheet to use, you just need to copy it, make a copy here, and then use it on your own. If you guys don't understand what this is all about, you can watch this video furthermore to understand. Last damage hacks that everyone should know is that when you throw ice cubes like that, make sure you're using a kukri and a cleaver. So you just equip that, right click, swap to the kukri, right click, and you are able to do more damage basically, because the cleaver will give you 30% extra damage when you defeat the ice cube. So that stacks together with the kukri, and the kukri also gives you crit rate when you kill the ice cube. So these two things, when you enter a boss room and you want to, annihilate the boss real quick, you can use these two melee. Of course, the best mod to put on this melee is durable territory if you use the axe on the very end. So let's say you throw these ice cubes, or let's say you use the axe like this. You do the axe, swap to the kukri, swap to the cleaver, and whenever you are hitting the ice cube with the mod durable territory on, and while in Fortress Warfare, you will extend it by 1 second when you hit the ice cube. So you can equip the mod. Any other mods are not worth it, other than this one. To get the ice cubes, you just need to do this silo in the northern region, side divergence, and that will get you this ice pot, which will then make you ice cubes, which you collect and throw on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, that's about it for this video. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about this gun. And as always, join my community, join my Discord if you guys have any questions, or you can leave them down below in the comment section or in my Discord. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace out.